Hello everyone. This is Boich. Today, we're embarking on something new, a question and answer time. Many of you have sent me some truly outstanding questions. Thank you so much. It brings me great joy to read your questions. I'm sincerely grateful and have high expectations for all of you. I've been thoroughly enjoying going through them. I believe it's a wonderful decision to hold this event. My Canadian friend, who handles translation, making English voice, video editing, and so on, and I feel kind of sorry for him. Sorry, dude. Before we start, I want to put on the special cap I have. The cap which symbolizes the mangaka. In the video, my face will be covered with my avatar character, so you won't see me wearing this beret, but I'll still try it on. It holds a special story behind it. It was during the winter of 1992. I was a college freshman at that time. During the winter break, I was preparing a 50-page one-shot to submit. But I didn't have enough money to buy screen tones. You all know what is screen tone, right? It is a tool for applying textures and shade to drawing manga. I needed to complete my one-shot, but I lacked the funds to purchase screen tones. So, I asked my family and friends if they could give me my birthday presents in advance. I asked if they could gift me screen tones for my birthday. Actually, it was nonsense. I know. Not only was I asking for birthday presents ahead of time, but I was also requesting something specific. But thankfully, my family and friends all understand and agreed and bought me the screen tones. For a struggling aspiring manga artist like me, screen tones were incredibly precious and valuable tools. I would carefully attach a layer of screen tone and work on it. Assess the remaining amount. Draw the image for the next scene. Attach another layer. I check the remaining amount of screen tone again and again, and so on. Each screen tone I work with is treasured and meticulously preserved with utmost care. With the screen tones I received as my birthday gifts, I completed my 50 pages one-shot. And that work became my debut in 1993, and this is the year 2023. It is my 30th debut anniversary. May 2023 was the month of my debut anniversary. For my 30th debut anniversary, I had the chance to watch 2001: A Space Odyssey in theaters. Yeah, in theaters. I heard that it was released in theaters in Korea for 55th anniversary. My wife arranged airplane tickets, hotel accommodations, and movie tickets as a gift for my debut anniversary. I went to Korea and watched 2001: A Space Odyssey in theaters. It was the most incredible present for my debut anniversary. Watching 2001: A Space Odyssey in theaters was an amazing experience. Truly amazing. I checked off one item from my bucket list. Until my last day, I can proudly say that I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey in theaters and cherish that memory. Anyway, back in 1992, my family and friends gifted me screen tones for my debut work. One of my friends. He is my best friend since we were middle school. When he gave me the screen tones, and he said, "Hey Boich, if you debut as a mangaka, I'll buy you the beret for you. It is the symbol of a mangaka, right? You should wear it too." First I thought he was joking. And the following year, when I made my debut as a mangaka, he actually bought me the beret. And this is the beret that my friend gave me 30 years ago. The beret cap that my friend gave me has accompanied me on my journey, spanning various places from Korea to Japan. I have always cherished it. So for today, in celebration of this wonderful question and answer time with all of you, I will put this beret. Thank you, my friend. I am truly grateful. Do any of you have friends like him? Friends who always support and assist you in your dream of becoming a mangaka? I hope you have such friends by your side. That kind of friend is really amazing and means a lot to you. He or she bring you happiness and support. Anyway, that's how I embarked on my path as a professional mangaka. Now, my Canadian friend has curated and sent me numerous questions from all of you. When I read the letters and messages sent by fans, it's incredibly challenging for me to omit even a single one. I personally want to answer the questions. That's where my friend comes in, assisting with translation and helping me by selecting and sending me the valuable questions you have submitted. I would truly love to address each and every one of them. But unfortunately, it's not always feasible. I hope you understand. The beginning, these are the common questions that many of you have asked. Among the questions you have sent, I answered common questions and some questions that I believe will be helpful not only to the individuals who posed them but also to others. I have created each video featuring these selected questions and my corresponding answers. Now let's get started. Here's one of the questions I received. Many of you have asked me for manga recommendations or about the works that have inspired me. Out of these inquiries, there is one excellent question that I will address in response to your queries. Hello, Sensei. Thank you so much for the opportunity to ask you a question we have. This is my question. To study film directing, there is a saying that suggests watching movies like Citizen Kane, Tokyo Story, Casablanca, and Alien. Who gave that advice? It's an outstanding piece of guidance. Is there something similar to studying comics and manga? Does it mean that it's good to study masterpieces simply by watching and reading them? Or does it imply the need to constantly delve deeper and research as a subject that should always be kept in mind? And how should I study them? Copy it? Or read over and over again? Hey, wow! The question itself contains the answers. In my view, this question appears to come from someone who possesses extensive knowledge of manga or films. When it comes to studying directing and composition of manga, there can be classics and masterpieces that are deemed essential and others that are not. I do believe they exist. However, it is not imperative to read every single one of them. Not all the accomplished contemporary mangakas or talented aspiring manga artists who make their debut have extensively viewed and studied those great classic works. While I do believe they exist, if you ask whether it is necessary to read all of them, I would say it is not a requirement. The reason is because that the world of manga is incredibly vast. As a result, the world of manga is much more diverse and expansive than that of movies. When aiming to create works like Crayon Shin-chan and Peanuts, the classic works you should watch may differ from those you should watch when aspiring to create works like Slam Dunk or My Hero Academia. No, right? There is likely to be a significant difference between them. Hence, it's not as simple as saying, hey, you must read these masterpieces if you want to be a pro mangaka. When I pursued film studies in Korea, the initial advice I received was to study like monks. Study like the monks. I took that advice to heart, etching it deep into my mind and soul. And I interpreted and assimilated it in my own way. The advice I want to share with all of you is to study like monks, and once you become a professional, keep up with the latest trends and the cutting edge. But why is it important to keep up with the latest trends and the cutting-edge technology as a professional? There are several reasons for this. Those you watching my video, as an aspiring manga artist in the world I hold dear. My greatest hope for you is to have a long and successful career in the manga industry, where you can create manga to your heart's content and sustain your artistic endeavors for an extended period. That's why I provide this advice and initiated the Toon Engineering course. There are underlying reasons for this, as professionals often lose interest in the latest trends and technology over time. You start to believe that with the skills you have already acquired, the knowledge you have accumulated through long-term study, and what you hold in your heart and hands, you believe that you can create works sufficiently on your own. Of course, it's essential to value your own abilities as a professional. But, if you wish to become a professional mangaka and survive in this industry over the long term, it's crucial to pay attention to the latest trends and the cutting-edge technology. You need to ensure your longevity in the manga industry. That's why studying classics and masterpieces is necessary, because studying should be done like monks. Classics encapsulate the original forms that have transcended times and generations, exerting significant influence on numerous creators and the public. That's why they are considered classics. Studying these original forms means finding and exploring the ancestors of manga, delving into history, and tracing their origins. It's about studying history and finding its origin. It is witnessing the culmination of numerous and valuable elements that have been proven to hold great value in the modern world coming together to create the most great and beautiful form. It provides you with an opportunity to witness and study that. For those who study, that's why it's good to study like monks, and that's why studying classics is beneficial. And remember, great works come out sometime. They always emerge, regardless of the era. As I mentioned earlier, they come out sometime. Among these great works, the greater ones are very rare. The works we love are constantly being created. There are many. You just need to seek them out. Talented artists continue to create them. But among those greater works, the truly outstanding masterpieces, ones that shake the world and the industry, create new realms, and set new paradigms, they are exceptionally rare. Truly, very rare. That's why we respect and appreciate those works. That's why, when studying manga, it's acceptable to watch and learn from them. If you try to imitate the popular hits titles recently as a creator, you'll likely appear inadequate. Moreover, you may face accusations of plagiarism. Is that what you want? No. However, it's acceptable to emulate the great classics of the past. Most people won't even know if you're emulating them. That's the essence of classics. And not many people are presently familiar with them. Despite being incredibly great works, despite offering so much to learn from, they are not widely known or imitated. So, what about those who have experienced the classics? Like manga critics and reviewers. They would say, "Hey, this artist seems to have diligently studied the masterpieces of the past. And their work seems to be heavily influenced by and pays homage to those classics." Would they criticize or judge harshly? Nope. Instead, they would be happy, because they also love those works. They believe that masterpieces have the qualifications to be carried on by generations to generations. However, there is a young mangaka who has clearly studied those classics and incorporated them into modern manga then. Do they have any reason to criticize it? No, they will be happy. They will celebrate together. They can't help but feel pleased that a contemporary work appreciating the value of that masterpiece has been created. That's what classics are all about. And it's wonderful. Truly wonderful. It feels like connecting with each other. How could anyone dislike it? Recently, I had the opportunity to watch 2001: A Space Odyssey in theaters, and the movie was incredible. I strive to include scenes reminiscent of 2001: A Space Odyssey in my manga as much as possible. Always. And I hope that readers of my manga will love and remember 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I hope that many people will find joy when they encounter it. I believe and expect that they will understand it in that sense. That's why I homage it. That's what classics represent. They are our shared assets. And it's truly wonderful. When I was in the Korean manga industry, we referred to certain works as textbooks or guidebooks among my colleagues. The textbooks. In English-speaking countries, they might call them the Bible of something like that, I suppose. Some works have been referred to as manga textbooks, going beyond being simply considered classics or masterpieces. Some works have been acclaimed as textbooks for aspiring manga artists, and among them, there were few works that garnered universal admiration, transcending genres. These manga textbooks go beyond genres, and Akira is one of them. And Rokutanashi Blues. These masterpieces earned the title of textbooks because aspiring manga artists would study them, Repeatedly watch and learn from them, and strive to imitate and draw like them. They would meticulously analyze each panel, background, character design and composition, and movement, asking themselves, how did the artist draw like this? And how were the scenes and panel directed with such incredible technique? They carefully analyze the scenes and compositions of those works, breaking them down piece by piece, while experiencing a range of emotions like astonishment, awe, envy, and reverence. We memorized every detail, expressing their deep admiration. To create something unique, there are works recognized as textbooks. Recently, the term "the textbook of manga" isn't commonly used. It has been almost 30 years since I began discussing the term called textbooks. But I still firmly believe these works are textbooks, our Bible of manga. And I believe they would be beneficial for everyone who reads and study them. Personally, I think there's a manga textbook that was created and is currently being serialized in the 21st century. And that is Tsugumo by Yoshikazu Hamada sensei. I consider Tsugumo to be the manga textbook of the 21st century. My recommendation: it would be wonderful if all of you read and study Tsugumo. I am also diligently studying Tsugumo, searching for things to learn from it, and I urge my staff to study Tsugumo. If you're uncertain about manga, read Tsugumo. Always keep Tsugumo by your side. That's what I'm saying to my staff. The immortal masterpiece and textbook of manga that beyond the time and genres is Akira by Atomo Katsuhiro sensei. And if you want to study action manga and draw like Sun Kenroku, then read and study Rokudenshi Plus by Morita Masamori sensei. And as for the modern manga textbook of the 21st century is, to learn the techniques of modern manga, is Tsugumo by Hamada Yoshikazu sensei. That's what I believe. If you want to draw like something you want to follow it, then it is feel free to do so. Read and study these works frequently. And if you find certain directing or depictions challenging, you can refer to the works I mentioned and find a way to incorporate them. Refer, observe, learn. Always keep reading and let them guide you. That's what means the textbook is. Even among classics, those exceptional works that provide inspiration and guidance to creators are referred to as textbooks.